Sometimes the voice of fear can really feel like intuition, and that can make you really scared of intuition while it's actually not intuition. I am Pauline, and I am so happy you are here because knowing the difference between intuition and fear can really help you in what you need to follow and what you can listen to. But a lot of fearful avoidance to end up being really scared of the word intuition, even because it feels like it's something that can tell you to do something that you don't want. And that is always fear. It's never intuition. So knowing how to differentiate between intuition and fear and know which one is talking is really going to help you so much. It's going to take away the fear for intuition, and it's going to make sure that you don't just follow fear blindly. So I remember in my fearful avoidant days that I was super scared of the word intuition because I felt like it was almost the end boss, the end game. If my intuition told me something, then that's what I needed to do, and I had no other choice, because otherwise either things would end up very poorly, or I would be unhappy for the rest of my life. And so I had to follow intuition, um, even if that meant I had to do something I didn't want. So I was really afraid that my intuition would tell me, was telling me to break up with Aryan. And I didn't want that. I wanted to stay with him. And so I kind of tried to suppress my intuition or not listen to it. And all the while, it was fear. It was fear that was talking, but it really felt like it was intuition. And I try to stay away from intuition as much as possible. If I saw the word written somewhere on a book that could actually cause a panic attack, it has on several occasions. That's how scared I was of something telling me that I had to do something that I actually didn't want, but I had no choice. That's what it felt like. So now I know so clearly that when a voice or a feeling feels so demanding and authoritative, it is never, ever, ever intuition. It is fear, because fear needs control, uses control, manipulation, demands, and it sounds authoritative. And that obviously stems from childhood. If you've experienced a childhood in which you didn't have a lot to say, you had to do things you didn't want to because otherwise your parent would get angry, or there were negative consequences that were attached to that, it's very logical that when you grow up and you're out of your childhood home, you kind of internalize that and project it onto something else. And I projected it onto intuition. I thought that is now telling me what to do, and I have no choice. But it was fear. So fear feels demanding. It feels like you don't have a choice. It feels restrictive. And it a lot of times it's about control. It has to be a certain way. It has to be one way, because or else. Um, it's it feels harsh. Also, it's like a harsh tone, demanding tone, and it's threatening. If you don't do this, then this will happen, and that is not what intuition is, because intuition comes from love, unconditional love. We will go into that in a bit. Um, so fear feels threatening, demanding. It feels tense. When you feel tense in your body, you know fear is talking. Um, it feels like you don't have a choice. So fear never gives you a choice. It has to be one way. It has to be a certain way, because otherwise everything will go wrong, or you will be unhappy forever, or you will hurt other people, or whatever the threat actually is. But you have no choice but to do that thing that actually doesn't feel right or good, or that you're really scared of, or that just that you really just don't want to do. You don't have a choice. If you don't have a choice, that's fear talking. It is telling you to do things that you don't want. That is very clearly also fear talking. Intuition would never do that. And it sounds angry and authoritarian. So if if anything inside of you tells you this is what you need to do in an angry and authoritarian kind of feeling or voice, or however you feel it, that is also fear, because fear needs things to happen in a certain way, needs control, and love doesn't. Love never needs control, needs things to be in a certain way. It's not scarce, it's abundance. So there's so many more options, so many possibilities. So when we then look at intuition, what I started seeing it as is the love source inside of me. So there's a source of love inside all of us. I truly believe that. And if you look at Buddhist monks who meditate for hours and hours a day, years and years, and they go past all the layers of fear and negative beliefs and all the things that sometimes plague us, they all reach this state of peace and love. And that is our true nature. That is our core. And it might be that you don't feel that and you're like, that's not possible because I don't feel that at all. But that just means that there's layers and layers and layers of pain and trauma and fear. That doesn't mean that it's not there, because I truly believe that we all have that love source. We all have that source of love. And so I started seeing intuition as that source of love. And love would never be demanding. It would never tell you you have to do this, because otherwise it wouldn't threaten you. That's not what love does. Love is open. Love feels light. It feels expansive. It's relaxation. There's always a million possibilities, not just one. So I started seeing it as, okay, intuition, I really want to stay with Aryan. I want to stay with my boyfriend. Show me a way. And then there's a way. And that has unfolded like that. And you do have a choice, and what you want does matter. So it can be that sometimes you will feel some sort of slight fear, because you're just, how do you say that? It's just something that is unknown. Like I was scared to surrender to Aryan, but it also felt really good in a warm and comforting way. So it's not that when you follow intuition, there is no fear ever at all, but it is slight. And at the same time, you feel that comfort and that warmness and that openness and expansiveness. It feels relaxed, even when there's like a slight trepidation, because it's just the unknown. So intuition feels comforting. The voice, if you even want to call it a voice or a feeling, it feels comfortable. It feels loving and warm. It feels supporting, relaxing. It feels like relief instead of pressure, what fear does. It feels like relief, like hope. It's wise, and wisdom never says, well, it has to be this way, or otherwise it's your own fault if you're unhappy for the rest of your life. That's not wisdom. That's not wisdom. Wisdom always seeks the path of least resistance, the best path for you. And intuition works with you. It's not that it is telling you to do things because it thinks that's how it should be done, no matter what you want, no matter what you long for. It is supporting you. It is there for you. It is serving you. And so what you want matters. It really, really matters. And intuition will help you to get there. So if you are in a relationship and you know this relationship is good and I want to find a way to be happy in this relationship and surrender to it, intuition will help you. It will help you, and it will never make you do things that you don't want to do. It will never demand things of you or threaten you that if you don't do this, then that will happen. So what you want does matter. What you need matters. And you have power. You don't always have control over everything, because we can't control our external factors, but you do have power. It's not like you are completely powerless and your intuition is telling you to do things and then you have to do them and that's it. You are doing this together with your intuition in a way. So there definitely is a difference between intuition and fear, but the complicated thing is that fear really does sometimes disguise itself as intuition. If your fear brain is just trying to keep you safe, so it's just doing everything it can to make you do things that it thinks will keep you safe. And that could be leaving the relationship because that doesn't feel safe, because that just brings up a lot of trauma and old associations. And so it can feel like it's intuition, but it's not. So this will help you differentiate, but it could be that you just don't know what intuition feels like, that you've never really allowed yourself to believe that there is something inside you that is serving you in this way, that is supporting you, that is there for you unconditionally, wanting to help you, wanting you to be happy. And so it could be that up till now, what you've felt was pretty much only fear. So it's a beautiful journey to start to explore intuition and how it is serving you, because there is guidance for you, there is help, there is support. You don't have to figure everything out just, rationally by yourself. I hope this was a little bit more clear on the difference between intuition and fear. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions, ask me and I would be happy to make another video on this. As always, I am so happy you are here and I will see you in the next one.
Healed and Happy is a tailor-made online program where me and my team personally guide you through healing the roots of the fearful avoidant attachment style.